Welcome home, Bitcoin Truth Seekers. It is Thursday, October 24th, 2019. It's 9:35 a.m. here in Arizona. Okay, here's the big picture of what I'm seeing for Bitcoin on the 4-hour chart. And of course, as always, this is for entertainment purposes only, not financial advice. See disclaimer in the description. Well, before we dive deeper into this, let's start at the beginning. S&P 500 today. Is on the daily, it's a red candle so far today, and if we look, the histogram is closing, so the MACD is closing. MACD is also closing on the Russell 2000, and we're a red candle. Both the S&P 500 and the Russell 2000 are red candles today, but they are well above the 200 moving average. But MACD is closing, so interesting. What's going on there, U.S. economy? Now, tether into Bitcoin at 1.83 billion, tether into Ethereum at 975 billion. No, million. 975 million. Tether into EOS at 402 million. Now, where's Bitcoin going? Bitcoin into Ethereum at 583 million, Litecoin 230 million, XRP 183 million, and EOS 114 million. And again, something I do notice, of course, Bitcoin at 1.83 billion, Tether at 975 million. Tether was above a billion yesterday. So that's interesting. Ethereum, Tether into Ethereum at 975 million, down from a billion yesterday. So we are definitely seeing an influx of Tether into Ethereum recently. Total market cap's 134 billion. And real volume over the last 24 hours is 342 million. We're above 300 million, so I consider that to be a good day. So good volume, not spectacular, but good. The Bitcoin dominance is on the way down last couple of days for sure. Actually, since the beginning of the month, and we are at 67 billion. I'm sorry, 67%. Dominance from Bitcoin. Now the total altcoin market cap is 63 billion. If we look at longs versus shorts over Bitfinex, BitMEX, and Binance, longs are at 58% and shorts are at 41%. Let's see, go over here to the, all right, looking at the daily MACD, so the daily, get my charts together here. So, one sec here, look at the daily, boom. All right, I'll refresh. Anyway, there we go. Now, this is the daily Bitcoin. So we are below the 200 moving average, we're below the 21 weekly EMA, we're below the 50 moving average, we're below the moving averages that really, matter. If we look at the MACD, we have turned negative on the MACD. The blue line, which is the MACD, has crossed under the red line, which is the signal, and the histogram has turned red. So that's usually a time a lot of people will swing out of Bitcoin. We're looking at the wave trend oscillator. It's showing the same thing. The green line is the wave trend oscillator. The red dotted line is the signal. The vertical line here that's dotted green is the oversold. So we're moving into oversold territory. And we're also negative on the wave trend oscillator. It's kind of a fancy MACD. Now, this, is great if you're a shorter. You're probably maybe taking out a short, or if you're a MACD trader, maybe you're hopping out of Bitcoin. But here's the thing that's catching my attention: the 2-hour, of course, Bitcoin chart is under the 200 moving average. But if we look at that, it is more of an immediate indicator. Of course, it's a shorter time frame, bit of an immediate indicator of what Bitcoin is going to do. So we have the daily saying, hey, get out. But the 2-hour MACD, which a lot of people do trade in and out of Bitcoin on, it's positive, and it's moving more positive. The MACD line, the blue line, is making some space between it and the red line, the signal. We can see the histogram is widening, so we have a negative MACD on the daily, without a doubt. But sometimes these little crosses can be very, very quick. And the 2-hour MACD is one that I definitely do tend to watch. And look at that, you know? Interesting. I'm going to wait for the 2-hour MACD to tell me what to do when it comes to the daily. I'm not quite really willing to trade some of my stash out on a daily MACD swing yet until the 2-hour confirms it. I think the 2-hour might be showing us that this is going to be a short run under the for a negative daily MACD. Okay, with that said, let me go over here. This looks positive and dismal, doesn't it? But this is the 4-hour chart. And I like using the volume indicator on the right there. And the 4-hour chart, spread it out over the year. We go all the way back to December of last year here. And we can take a look at this. There's a big downward channel that we've been in for a while. And so are we going to bounce off the bottom of this channel at around 7,200? Or are we going to break below that? And see, check it out. We've been hanging out here, but we've got previous support and resistance in the chart around 8,000 or 8,200. So we're around 8,000, support and resistance. We're good. We've been hanging out there for a while. We've been going sideways, you can see, even though it's pretty obvious here. Let me find my little rectangle tool here. Sorry to hold you up. There it is. But if we look here, definitely have previous support and resistance in the chart. All the way back to May. I'm sorry, to June, May, June. You've got support and resistance in the chart, and you have a buy-sell volume. So 8,000 has been a nice strong point. Well, we're breaking below that. And if you look, next places we have a lot of support and resistance in the chart, and also buy-sell volume are 5,200 and right around 4,000. So if we can't break out of this, if we do break below this channel, if we get below, if that 2-hour MACD turns negative, that's the daily, yeah, that's the 2-hour. So the 2-hour MACD gets negative, or looks like it's going to head that way, and because the daily MACD is already negative, myself, I'm gonna be out, just me, some of my Bitcoin stash before we break below this channel and before the the 2-hour MACD turns negative. So anyway, this is really kind of a watch and see. Are we gonna bounce or are we gonna take off? If we do take off, the nice thing is we're gonna go back to 8,000. Or if we do get rolling, the next place where we have a good deal of support and resistance in the chart, and I can move this up here, you can see there's definitely support and resistance in the chart, and also buy-sell volume is right around 10,200. So I don't think anyone knows what's going to happen. This is about the best I can do. Well, we shall see. Just be ready. Are you going to swing out? Are you going to swing in? You're going to hodl? What you going to do? I myself, and in summary, am looking at a negative MACD in the daily, but maybe it's going to be short-lived because the 2-hour MACD is really turning positive. It is positive, and the histogram is getting wider. The MACD is moving higher, away from, it's broadening that gap away from the signal. So let's see. Big news. Now, Light Night IO, linked to in the show description. This is a game that's coming out where I guess basically you can earn Bitcoin while you play. I'm not sure all the details, but I started looking into it, and it looks fun. You can kind of pre-register and get to be one of the first people playing, and you can wear a hot dog suit and run around with a rifle being chased by, I don't know, a zombie or something. Anyway, if you like games and you want to make some Bitcoin, maybe check it out. Links in the show notes. Hey, if you like Stoicism, I myself don't. I find it to be drastically depressing, but I always liked Marcus Aurelius. He was the only unique philosopher that I think kind of took a bit of that Stoicism and he made it interesting. So anyhow, CryptoLark did a video getting into the Stoicism of Bitcoin right now, and it's really fun and inspiring. Link in the show notes. As always, oops, wait, not quite ready for that yet. We have a new interview over at Radiant Creators with Richard Allen Miller, linked to in the show notes. Really fun, really spectacular, really inspirational. Check it out. He's like a living Gandalf. And of course, as always, over there in Radiant Creators, you can find that there's a link to blockchain education here. And if you go over to Blockchain Education, I'm a member there. You can be, and they have signals, and you can join, and you can get signals, and you can make money. I do. You can be a full member, and then you can get basically the best of those signals are hand tailored, and you can get auto entered into those trades. You can learn to trade, you can watch hours of videos. It's great stuff. So anyway, like, share, and subscribe.